Hello, I'm batching into the 18th Christmas update. We've done 17 updates before this one. You can see the whole storyline of how things have been evolving with these updates here on the events page. I've got all of the previous updates listed. So you can go right back to the beginning at the start of November and see how things have transpired. The overall scenario has been for generally quite a mildish sort of Christmas, really. Atlantic dominated weather systems coming through from the west generally, but then we have that one very unusual update that came through, update 13, the 13th update, which was much colder and was suggesting the chance of a really cold spell setting up as we go through the Christmas week up to the New Year. I'm sure remembering it set the cat amongst the pigeons. We lost the signal. It didn't last beyond the 13th update, and the last few updates have generally been a continuation of the idea of we've gone from the CFS to the GFS model for generally quite a mild Christmas. We're going to have a look at the 18th update in a moment, but before I get on with that, just want to say about the ads. So there's links to articles on most of the pages at GazWebbies.com. Have a browse through the widgets, and any articles that you're interested in, just click through. There's green keyword ads on some pages, so if you right cursor over green keywords, they display ads, but if you click through the words, you go to advertiser's website, you support GazWebbies by doing that. There's yellow weather-related ads on most of the pages. Click through those if you're interested. And Gaz Shop is still open. It'll be open for one more week. I'm going to keep it open until Christmas Eve. So if you've got any Christmas shopping to do at Amazon, just click through the Amazon banners in Gaz Shop. It'll take you off to Amazon. You can do your Christmas shopping. And because you've gone from GazWebbies to Amazon, we get a revenue fee on the things that you're purchasing. Thanks so much for getting involved and doing that. So let's start off with the GFS model. This is still just about in the unreliable time frame. It's 192 hours where we're starting here on Christmas Eve. So we're just sort of beginning to come into a semi-reliable time frame, but it needs to go another couple of days to actually be in the sort of reliable time frame. This is still just about in the unreliable time frame of the model. So here we are on Christmas Eve. We've got low pressure to the east of Scotland. Quite an active cold front is swinging down across the country. Notice this pressure building in the central part of the Atlantic. This is indicative of a pattern change taking place on Christmas Eve. So have a look at the upper air temperatures. We can see that cold air is beginning to move southwards and eastwards across the country, but generally it's quite a mild day. An active cold front is producing rain. It's behind that cold front, but we get that cold air digging in. There's the rain being predicted for Christmas Eve. Very wet day if that comes off. Temperatures are generally quite mild. In the south we're up to double figures. It is a bit colder up in the north where it could be turning a little bit wintry. Now as we go through into Christmas Day, that first cold front has cleared away. Another little system is coming into the north of Scotland. That cold front has introduced colder air, so we're all within a different air mass on Christmas Day, and this system up in the north could well be producing the chance of some wintry conditions. There could be snow up in the north with that. Again, if we have a look at the upper air temperatures, you can see that we're all within a -5 ice firm by Christmas Day, so a different air mass is coming down, a much colder one moving in from the west and the northwest. The dew point is generally below freezing across much of the north, particularly northern England and Scotland, and that is one of the things that we look at to tell us where we have the risk of the rain turning to snow if the dew point is below freezing. So the precipitation here up in the north could well be falling as snow on Christmas Day, but it's mainly dry. In most parts of the country it will be a dry, fine Christmas Day, plenty of sunshine, but it will be feeling cold, especially up in the north. A seasonally feeling Christmas Day if that came off. Temperatures in the north are barely above freezing. In the south we're up to 5-6 degrees, so it is cold in the south, but it's really in the north that we've got that cold air. Now, as we move through into Boxing Day, the winds are going more northerly then. Another cold front is coming down across the country. That's probably that system that we just saw in the north on Christmas Day. On Boxing Day, that's starting to move south and introducing some properly cold air. Notice pressure is rising up over Greenland. This is very interesting, this update, what we're seeing here. The upper air temperatures are very cold across most parts of the country by Boxing Day. We're thermally within cold air. There's precipitation around as well. That would be snow in the north. It could even be turning wintry down in the south, actually. This precipitation being just here down in the south could well be turning wintry there on Boxing Day. However, it's so far out, it's 240 hours away, day 10, that we can't really be too certain with detail with this, but it certainly, if that came off as predicted, that could be producing wintry conditions. The dew point is again below freezing across many parts of the country once again, and as we move through into the temperatures for Boxing Day, very cold day, below freezing in the north, just 2s, 3s, 4s further south. Now we can go up beyond that, and I can show you the run up to the new year, and we keep it cold. We've got these areas of low pressure around the country on the 27th. They could be producing rain, sleet or snow, probably snow actually for many parts of the country. The air is really cold on the 27th. So yeah, I think as we progress through Christmas and out beyond Christmas, it does turn even colder. Another cold day for the 28th. The Atlantic looks like it's beginning to have a bit of a go as we go beyond the 28th. We start to move weather systems in on the 29th. Now there's an elongation in the isobars there as those weather systems are moving in. That's indicative of sort of a stall taking place as the milder air comes up against the cold wedge of air that's sitting over the country. So you will get snow, certainly on the leading edge, turning back to rain in the west. And depending where that stall occurs, there could be some quite heavy snow at that. As we move through into the 30th, it turns a bit milder. Then the Atlantic winds do break through, but not for long. Go through to New Year's Eve, and look at that, the low pressure is going off into Germany, pulling the winds back round into the north again. So another push of cold air coming back from the north on New Year's Eve. By the time we get through to New Year's Day, we're back in cold air, and these areas of low pressure could be producing snow in some parts of the country. That's quite a wintry update from the GFS tonight. Very quick look at the parallel run. The parallel is sort of the new version of the GFS model. It'll be coming on stream as the main version from January, but at the moment we've got the two versions running alongside each other. That's why it's a parallel run. For Christmas Eve, we've got the weather system there across the country, so they're both in agreement about Christmas Eve. Quite a wet day, potentially mild in the south, becoming a little bit colder in the north. Going through to Christmas Day, things are getting very messy. Still got that ridge of high pressure in the central Atlantic that's trying to force the winds into the north, but this area of low pressure is down to the southwest of the country. So you've got cold air coming down to the north, you've got mild air trying to come up from the south. There's a battle occurring where those two air masses are meeting on Christmas Day. That could be producing some wintry conditions across northern England, but elsewhere it would be rain. Then this is too far away to be certain on the detail, and as we go through to Boxing Day, look what it comes up with for Boxing Day. A massive storm develops over the country. Winds are swinging into the northeast. That could be producing, would you believe, heavy snow and blizzards for northern parts of the country on Boxing Day. Now, don't be running away with the idea that this is how it's going to pan out. You're going to have disruptive weather over Christmas, but well, it's a very shocking update, this one. I have to say, it's a really surprising update, and we're just going to wait and see where this goes. But the GFS seems to be picking up on something. There's been an idea for a few days, did the video on Sunday, talking about this. Beyond Christmas, we could start to see a change in the pattern. We could start to turn it cold, get a cold snap after Christmas. It looks like the change could be occurring actually over Christmas itself. So we've got to keep an eye on it. Obviously, I'll be doing more updates over the next few runs, but some very interesting looking charts tonight if you want a cold spell. Probably cold enough for snow in the north, particularly round or just after Christmas. So let's wait and see how things play out from here. Hope you found the video interesting. That's all for now. Bye for now.